All right, let's get this video going. Hey everyone, and welcome to Boston Autoblog. You are catching a glimpse into the future, as I now have a high quality mic and an audio recorder. So I think you guys can probably tell that podcasting might be something I'm going to be doing in 2021. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I've tried it a few times over the last few years. I just did not have the equipment to make that work. And, well, this was my shopping spree back in November, and I kind of ruined Christmas for myself because I didn't get to open anything. So that's kind of a sacrifice that you have to make. But I wanted to get some of this equipment before the holiday rush. But I want to start off this video by saying we have made it. It is the end of 2020. And wow, has it been a blur. I've talked to a lot of people and they all say it's been a blur. And that's why I didn't want to do a compilation video for 2020. First off, with it being just a crazy year in general, but also with everything going on, I really don't remember a lot of it. I have all the files on my computer on multiple hard drives, but I just don't really feel the need or feel the desire to go through all those memories and combine them all into one video. So I thought for today we would do a Q&A and really kind of get you guys involved with Boston Autoblog and see where things are going for the next year. Now, some of the questions you guys asked me for this video are really in depth and some topics that I really wanted to get into for this video anyway. So just like stuff when it comes to looking at 2020 from a holistic standpoint and also looking forward to 2021, what my goals are and what are the plans moving forward. Now, I want to dive right into this. And the first question is actually really interesting, which is how did this year impact you, both from a business and car community standpoint? Now, starting off with 2020, I wanted to modify the GTI. I really did. And I wanted to create content around the GTI. I've seen so many other YouTubers do this where the car propelled their channel. That was the goal. That's the reason why I bought the GTI. There was no really other reason to do it. I like the GTI as a daily driver, but I think that as a modified car, it would have been more fun. And that was the goal. I was going to modify starting in April of this year, and I was going to be ready to roll because there were some rallies that I wanted to go on that were for charity events, and I was all in on that. I wanted to wrap the car. These were things I was talking to my friends about for weeks. And then March hit, and that was really the end of everything because I think even like 2 weeks in, all these rallies were getting canceled. People were very concerned about what the future was going to be like moving forward. And by being out of work for a month and a half, that really affected me financially, just as a business owner. And that really changed the whole outcome of the year when it comes to the car community. But from a business standpoint and how I look at things off camera and what I do with dealers on a weekly basis, that didn't necessarily change. Now, I do have a lot more in terms of digital marketing and digital communication, such as through DMs on Instagram and other social media platforms. But I honestly, from a strict business sense, I don't really notice much of a difference at all. I still work with the same people I did prior. So at face value, nothing changed, but I think when it comes to the content aspect, that most certainly changed because content is my business. That's the only way that this channel grows, and that's what really needed to change, which was to create as much content as possible. I think I did a decent job with that. From that standpoint, from that business side of things, I've most certainly changed. This year definitely changed me in that regard. Will you be reviewing another supercar in 2021? And the answer is absolutely yes. I think the spectrum of cars I'm going to be filming next year is definitely going to be widened. We're going to be filming consumer cars, electric cars, exotics, sports cars. The opportunities have definitely presented themselves this year, especially near the end of 2020, where it seemed as though each passing week I was getting into more expensive cars and I was able to drive them. So I definitely think there's a lot of positivity heading into 2021. I think you guys are going to really enjoy what's going to be featured next year, and I'm really looking forward to getting started. But definitely, exotic cars and supercars are definitely going to be making their way onto the channel. And if I have it my way, they're going to be full reviews like I did with the Roma, where I can take it out for a longer test drive and really fully experience what that car has to offer. So definitely look forward to next year. I think there's going to be a lot of surprises for sure. What was the best feature on a car you reviewed this year? Now, I do think this is a bit of a gimmick, but it has to be augmented reality, especially in the Cadillac Escalade. That was one of the coolest things I had ever seen and ever experienced. But one feature that I do love, and I wish more brands would do this for sure, is having a roller dial, touchpad, and quick access buttons. Because most brands now still have the touchscreen, and they put the touchscreen on the dashboard. It's just, to me, it doesn't look that great looks-wise. But when it comes to user-friendliness, the roller dial is definitely better. It eases the driving experience so much more, especially where me owning a GTI that has a touchscreen, I hate it. I'd rather have quick access buttons and a road dial because I can keep my eyes on the road. That to me is the best feature. I think to go over some of the more newer stuff that's on the market right now, I don't think they're really a necessity. I love heated seats. I love a heated steering wheel. But some of the things I don't think you necessarily need. So I'd probably stick with the best feature is most certainly the augmented reality. From a gimmick standpoint, I could buy into it, but from a practicality aspect, most certainly the quick access buttons and roller dial, it just makes driving a car in the modern age so much better. Any special format videos for 2021? Actually, there are a few. So one being the podcast. I'd love to get into podcasts, have some guests on, and really get a new perspective on not only the car community, but also the automotive industry as well. That's something I really want to get into, something I want to at least pursue and explore next year. But also, I want to create some more in-depth videos for you guys. I'm not necessarily happy with the reviews I've been putting out. I think they can be a lot better. I think they can be a lot more higher quality. And there is a video idea that I want to do that I've never seen anybody do at my level at around 8,000 subscribers, but also as somebody who does not have a lot of financial backing. And this would require a lot of cooperation with some brands and also a lot of luck as well. It's all about timing too. So there's definitely some different formats that I want to do that would be more informative, more enjoyable to watch, but also maybe in terms of quality, more TV-like. Something that's a lot more thought out and something that actually is certainly captivating for sure. Something that would definitely draw your attention. And especially now where I have multiple camera angles to work with for the interior of the car. I also bought another tripod, and I have two cameras that I could work simultaneously. I do want to get into different formats for sure. I'm kind of not complacent with the content I've been putting out for you guys, especially for this year. So I think 2021, there's definitely going to be some surprises down the road. Mazzano X2 asks, future of the GTI, and I have to say we've talked about this very extensively through the meets that we've had with good friends, also through DMs, of course, and I have to say the future is uncertain. I don't really know what I want to do with the GTI, whether it's modifying it or selling it for something else. I just don't know what I want to do with the car. I've said it a number of times off camera that I want to get rid of the GTI, but from a daily driver aspect, it's the perfect car. But that kind of goes hand in hand with two questions I received from my good friend Arsha, and that is, when will you mod the GTI, and what's the next BAB car? And when it comes to modifying the GTI, the earliest would be in April or May, just because if 2021 goes the same way as 2020, I don't want to spend the money on the car. I'd rather kind of keep that money in hand, especially from a business aspect, and I might need that money. But if 2021 goes perfectly fine, I don't see why I couldn't do that. So I've definitely given that some thought, and it really just depends on what I want to do long term. I think financially, from a long-term perspective, keeping the GTI makes the most sense. But then when it comes to the next BAB car, I've done a lot of thinking on this. I've looked at everything because I've looked at the idea of buying a second car, keeping the GTI as my daily, and then having a second car for fun trips on the weekends. But I've also looked at getting rid of the GTI for something else, and I've looked at the Toyota Supra, the A91 edition in blue with the black wheels. that to me is a beautiful car, and the fact that it's a BMW essentially is why I'm drawn into it. I would definitely look at buying a Supra for sure, especially when you look at the prices. Even if I don't go with the A91, the used car prices are a bit crazy, where you can buy one under $50,000. So that's something I definitely looked at for sure. I think BMW is definitely the way I'm looking at, though. I'm looking at even an M550i, just for the luxury aspect, but also the twin-turbo V8. So I've definitely been looking at more of a luxury car than kind of get into a more sports car like a Corvette, because you can get a C7 in the 40s, and I don't know. That I'm really sitting on. The next BAB car, though, is mostly going to be blue. That I will say for sure. It's going to be blue. Will there be car events in 2021? Now, I am not as involved in the car community as I was prior to 2020, so I don't really know what the plans are. I know that Lars Anderson definitely wants to have more events like they did in November, where they had these smaller sessions where you would show up at like 8 o'clock for your morning session, and then the next group would come in around 11 o'clock. That I think is definitely doable, depending on the restrictions. But there were definitely car events last year in Connecticut and also New Hampshire. So definitely there were things going on, but I'm not really confident in saying that there will be a car season for 2021. I think we're just going to take things one day at a time and see really where things are progressing in terms of getting back to normal. Now, to round out this Q&A, I received 2 great questions from my good friend, the GT Car, and they're questions that will lead me into answers that will at least give some indication of where I want to be by the end of next year. His first question is, what are you most excited about for 2021? And his second one is, where do you want to see Boston Auto Blog at the end of 2021? And I think both these questions go hand in hand. One thing that I'm excited about, and it's kind of carrying over from 2020, I feel like there's really not much of a difference, even though I think 2021 is a new beginning, a clean slate. But to be honest, this year was the first time, I think when I look back on things, that I actually had a lot of fun with the channel. Despite the fact, with everything going on, I had a lot of fun. And I think it really came down to the uncertainty of what's going to happen 1 month, 2 months, 6 months down the road. I had to actually take things one day at a time. And I'm actually looking forward to having a full year where I have that mentality, where I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen next week. That's what's actually really exciting to me, because I got thrown a lot of opportunities that I had not planned for. Especially taking vehicles home and having them for a full day, and the GT Car, you were with me for one of those videos to get some of the exterior shots. That was like a last minute thing that came up, and I had it was more of a free flowing year for 2020, and I kind of want to bring that over for 2021, where everything's more free flowing, everything's more relaxed. There's not as much craziness involved, and there's not as much stress. Boston Auto Blog, in all honesty, was the only thing that was not stressful for 2020. Even though I was stressing out about, well, what if I'm out of work again for another month and a half. Filming and having those opportunities was always something that was really fun, because I had to go in with the mindset, I just need to get content, I need to film, and I like that. So from an exciting standpoint, or from what's exciting, what's going to be exciting for 2021, is that uncertainty, is that free-flowing spirit that I had for 2020, because I honestly don't know what I'm going to be doing by the end of this year, or end of next year. I have no idea. And I think that's what's adding to the intrigue. Usually, heading into each year, I have goals of what I want to do. Oh, I'm going to go to New York for the auto show. I want to get this. I want to do that. This year, I don't have that. It's more of whatever comes my way, I'll take, and I'll see what I can make out of it. And I think from a holistic standpoint, by the end of 2021, I want to have a channel that is a lot more informative, that provides a lot more value, that's more entertaining for consumers and for viewers. I want to add a lot more content as well, where this channel isn't just going to be strictly car reviews. I think that could definitely get very redundant, even though the reviews are awesome and the different cars we're taking a look at definitely adds some variety. I do want to add more variety because I've not done all brands yet. But I want to throw in, of course, the quick buyer's guides, maybe a podcast here and there. Just do a very special video, like a special format, where I can really get into some really awesome and in-depth videos that someone at my level, someone without the financial backing of bigger channels, that I could create some awesome content that you guys have never seen before. That, I think, is the ultimate goal. So guys, thank you so much for watching this Q&A, and also thank you so much for sticking with me for this entire year. 2020 was fun. I'm afraid to say fun, but it was a fun year. I made the best of it, and I think content-wise, it was pretty good. No complaints when it comes to the channel. Obviously, outside of that, things I can't control, things were hectic. But from what I can control, it was fun, and hopefully I provided entertainment. I provided a form of escapism for you guys this year with everything going on, and I look forward to doing the same next year. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. Also, have a happy and safe holiday season and new year. And I will see you guys next time.